Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Wednesday, wherever you are today. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that you're having yourself a wonderful start to the day. And I hope that everything that you're doing today goes according to plan, or indeed close enough to plan, right? Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime today. And always a pleasure, one we don't take for granted, to be here with you on Storytime. Thank you indeed for joining in. Please let us know where you're joining us from and who is joining in with you. And we bring back one book that hasn't been back to Storytime in a long time. This one is published by Triangle Square Seven Stories Press. And this one is coming from Mona Damluji and illustrations by INNOSANTO Nagara. So we do have this wonderful book coming up. And Mona, good morning to you. And of course, Eno as well. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And you know, too, if you've been following Storytime a minute, you know that we're involved with the Social Justice Holiday Children's Book Fair. And that is happening again this December. And that name always tangles me. But yeah, we're having that December 9th. So very soon you'll be seeing promos for that. So if you're in the area, please be sure to join us. If you know any social justice oriented authors, creators out here in the Bay, well, let us know. Out here in Oakland, let them know to reach out, and maybe we can feature them at the show for sure. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Glad that we're here together. Yes, indeed. Please let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. And remember too, we're saying, like yesterday, we were celebrating Zambia's Independence Day, right? So it was the 24th of October, 1964, when Zambia got independence. And it's been a country in building since. And there's so much that I've learned in that time, things that I've come to appreciate, and things that I understand a little bit more now. And so it's been a lot of learning in terms of just, governance and just how resilient the people are. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And yes, we will be reading stories this week that just highlight that Zambian spirit. And of course, we've already had Abello, who is showing us off the Luangwa Valley, the beauty of the Luangwa Valley, the wildlife, the rich wildlife. And then we started off with Because of an Acorn on Monday, and that was celebrating the youth, the vibrant youth that are the Zambian youth. So we're here today reading together. And yes, and just one of those things too that you'll find on the Zambia coat of arms, the motto, One Zambia, One Nation. And during the struggle, for independence, and Zambia is made up of different tribal groupings, and so they all had to come together, knowing that they had a common enemy in the colonizer, and so they came together. And that motto was "One Zambia, One Nation." We're all Zambians. We're all one. And indeed, they came together, and there's been harmony since. So, yeah, really proud of that. And yeah, what a great way. Because most of the times, even when we were growing up, the president or even just the leaders, teachers would just say "One Zambia," and everybody would respond "One Nation," and it's just yeah, it was just that kind of thing. But yeah, got to learn a lot about just how to come together, even though you may be, you may have different value systems or beliefs, and there's always a way you can come and compromise. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Together is coming up very shortly, so get ready for that one. Get comfortable, get cozy. We will be reading this one very, very shortly. Thank you indeed for being here. Let us see who is with us this morning, ready to enjoy a wonderful story. Good morning to you, Pamela Courtney. How are you doing today? And of course, Chad, Auntie Anne, thank you so much for joining in. And Granny in the house too. Oh my goodness, and Jamil. I love this. From Natchitoches, Louisiana, full house. Or is it fuller house, right? Thank you for being here. How did you celebrate Independence Day yesterday? Thank you for yesterday. Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. Well, I got to eat. I got to just connect with my cousins, my sisters back home, because everybody was off yesterday. They had an off day, so it was just nice to really be able to catch everybody in time and just check in with them. But yeah, ate some good food. And on this weekend is hopefully when I'll be having, like friends just come over and we can actually get to eat, because that was the plan. But during the week is always so hard, isn't it? Especially later in the day. So this weekend festivities will happen. Thank you so much for asking. Absolutely appreciate you. And yeah, played a lot of Zambian music too. I always do, but I think yesterday was particularly high volume and high volume. Thank you for being here. And I do have a question for you too. I know yesterday we talked about it. I do have a question for all of you. So, what is the first one that we're going to be considering? What is Zambia's currency? Right? What is Zambia's currency? And then the other one that we're looking at, who are Zambia's neighbors? Who are Zambia's neighbors? What is the currency and who are Zambia's neighbors? So, we're going to answer that at the end of the story, well, after the story. So keep that in mind. Who are Zambia's neighbors? How many are they? Can you name them? And then, of course, Zambia's currency. What is it called? And then today we do have another proverb. This one coming to us from the Bemba tribe, which is north of Zambia, and it says "Kabusha dakoleloboa." And that one means, basic translation: a person who asks never eats poisonous mushroom. Yes, a person who asks never goes wrong. That is the whole idea. And so but yeah, just basic translation would be, kabusha takoiroboa. It would be a person who asks never eats poisonous mushroom. So it is okay to ask, and it is okay to say, hey, I don't know, can you help me out here, right? So we don't have to know everything, and it's not possible to know everything, so ask. And kind of like ask and it shall be given, right? So yeah, let's not be prideful. Let's be sure to ask. Let's not be proud. Let's ask when we need to, and we'll be guided. Hopefully, we'll find those answers and be guided. So, yeah, there's one for you today, coming from the Bemba tribe out in the north. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Please get comfortable, get cozy, get ready for our story for today. We'll be right back after this short break. And yeah, here we go. I'll see you on the other side.
Hi, my name is Chad, and I'm homeschooled in Natchitoches, Louisiana. And today you're tuning in with Mr. Lamata. Story time with Mr. Lamata.
Love it, Chad. Thank you indeed. And Chad too, let me know whenever you need that updated. But it is such a beauty. I love it so much. Thank you for your time and for sharing that with us. But yes, that was Chad reminding us here that we are here on Storytime. And remember too, if you miss Storytime, you can always catch Storytime at storytimewithmrlimada.com, and you can always catch Storytime at Storytime with Mr. Limada on Facebook and YouTube. And why not follow our Instagram and see what's happening? Storytime. All right, together is our song, is our book today. Now I'm saying song because actually there was a Zambian song too that was about togetherness, and it's good. Tiende Pamozi. Let's walk together. So that one was also part of the freedom songs that were sung. All right, this one is written by Mona Damluji, illustrations by INNOSANTO Nagara, and yes, reading this one with permission of Triangle Square 7 Stories Press. Excited for this one. And yeah, INNOSANTO Nagara has brought us many wonderful books here to Storytime, right? Including Movement. We've also had A's for Activist, Night at the Planetarium, and so many more, right? All right, here we go. One star shines as distant light. Can we see that one star that shines as distant light? It is a very reflective board book, but I hope you can still see the star. One star shines as distant light. And when stars shine together, they make our galaxy. One star shines as a distant light. And when stars shine together, they make our galaxy. One bee wanders through the garden. Yeah. One bee wanders through the garden. I hope that we're creating, just put a plant out there so we can help the bees survive as well. And when bees work together, they are a colony. Yeah. One bee wanders the garden. And when bees work together, they are a colony. One bird goes into the wind. One bird goes into the wind. One bird goes into the wind. Doing the crew makes me think of a certain musician, a certain rapper, hip hop artist, right? One bird goes into the wind. And when birds call together, they make a cacophony. I love that word. Yes. One bird goes into the wind. And when birds call together, they make a cacophony. Yeah. I mean, try using cacophony in a sentence today. And when birds call together, they make a cacophony. It's one of those words I could say it for many times over. One tree grows toward the sun. One tree grows toward the sun. It's a giant tree. Kind of reminds me of the baobab back home. And when trees grow together, they make a canopy. Yeah. One tree grows towards the sun. And when trees grow together, they make a canopy. One voice sings a tender song. One voice sings a tender song. What voice is coming to mind right now for you? Yeah. One voice sings a tender song. Sissy Winans for me is coming to mind right now. This is my story. This is my song. One voice sings a tender song. And when voices sing together, they make harmony. Yeah. One voice sings a tender song. And when voices sing together, they make harmony. Yeah. One instrument plays an unforgettable beat. One instrument plays an unforgettable beat. Doom, 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 doom. At least that's the beat that's coming to mind for me. And when instruments play together, they are a symphony. One instrument plays an unforgettable beat. And when instruments play together, they are a symphony. Yes. One mountain rises to a mighty peak. One mountain rises to a mighty peak. Yeah. And when mountains rise together, they are majesty. Yeah. One mountain rises to a mighty peak. And when mountains rise together, they are majesty. Yeah. If you've had an opportunity to look at a mountain range, you definitely will find that awe, isn't it? It's so grand. Makes you realize just how puny we are at times, right? And when mountains rise together, they are majesty. One wave is a surfer's dream. One wave is a surfer's dream. And when waves move together, they are an endless sea. Yeah. One wave is a surfer's dream. And when waves move together, they are an endless sea. One of us can make a home. One of us can make a home. Yeah. And when we come together, we are a family. One of us can make a home. And when we come together, we are a family. One of us can love with all our heart. Yeah. One of us can love with all our heart. Yeah. And when we love together, we build community. Yes. One of us can love with all our heart. And when we love together, we build community. Yeah. And in those communities, let's listen to each other's stories. One of us can speak up for justice. Yeah, one of us can speak up for justice, and it is needed, right? Yeah. And when we speak up together, we create a world of possibility. Yeah, one of us can speak up for justice, and when we speak up together, we create a world of possibility. And that is the end of our story. Thank you so much for joining in today. And yeah, we continue to highlight these books this week that just offer you a glimpse into, some of the values that I was raised on and just that Zambia is built upon. And it is just so wonderful. And just as an example, too, of this togetherness, I have, just grew up with my mom and have two siblings, but our household was a household of 15, because it is that kind of place. You take care of each other. If, somebody needed help, they could come, they were taken in to come and live with us. And if somebody needed help, maybe, just so they could be closer to school, closer to other things, like that's how we did things. That's how, that's how we all just managed to thrive and live and prosper. And right now, everybody that, I lived with, those are my people. Those are my crew, like if I get to Zambia today, I know who's coming to pick me up at the airport. I know who's going to hang out with me. I know where I'm going to stay, and that all comes from that togetherness that was built in living together and knowing, building that community, that family. So yeah, one of us can make a home, but when we come together, we're a family. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. I'll catch you on the other side of this very short break.
You're watching Story Time with Maple and Cypress. Just kidding. You're watching Story Time with Mr. Lamada.
Oh, thank you. And today I just wanted to just also just highlight two, just two of our young people in this storytime community, Chad and of course Ari. Thank you. Keep being amazing, you two. Thank you so much. And to every other kid that joins us here on Storytime that is a part of the Storytime community, keep being amazing, keep shining, keep being you. Remember too that one person can speak up for justice. And if you do find that community that you can band together with, oh well, then we can create a world of possibilities, as the book put it. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I am glad that we are here together. And yes, we still have time to go through the questions that were asked at the beginning. What is Zambia's currency? Who knows? Are you ready? Thank you so much for joining in too. And yes, thank you for joining us one more time. I appreciate you being here. Pamela, Courtney, thank you for joining us. Chad, Auntie Anne, and of course, Granny and Jamel. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime out there in Nakitosh, Louisiana. Sounds like the place to be right now. Love it. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, thank you for being here on Storytime. And of course, very welcome. Happy to share, bits of Zambia. And I think I should do that a little bit more, right? Just share a little bit more because it has shaped who I am for sure. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And good morning to you. How are you doing today? Out in sunny and warm Kentucky today. Let's late good morning from me and Ari. Well, thank you for being here. It is Zambian time. It is Zambian week on Storytime. So you are okay. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And Ari, I will always jump on this one. I love it. Yes, all the ingredients for Storytime are here this morning. You're here, Chad and the crew, the rest of the people out in Natchitoches, Louisiana are here. Everybody else is here. Others will be joining us later on for the recordings. A good book we have here together, and of course we have, we have a stream that is working. We're here together, so why not? all the ingredients are here and they're just perfect. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. I love seeing silly Ari on days today. Thank you so much for joining in, and please don't lose that. I hope that you carry that into the day with you for sure. Thank you so much for joining in, everybody. And yeah, here we go. Zambia's currency. Let's see if you got it. Boom, there we go. So what is Zambia's currency code? It's called, the Zambian currency is known as the kwacha and ngwe. Then we know how you have dollars and cents. Well, it's kwacha and ngwe, and where the 100 ngwe is equal to 1 kwacha. So it's kwacha and ngwe. That's the Zambian currency. Or you just say the Zambian kwacha. Everybody knows what that is. And the short form of it is ZMK or ZMK. That's how we write it. Then you know it's Zambian kwacha, because Malawi also has the kwacha. But here's the story though. Kwacha ngwe, when you put those words together, kwacha ngwe means it is basically rise and shine, bright new dawn, new dawn. So kwacha means it is, light is coming up. Ngwe, it is bright. So kwacha ngwe means bright new dawn. And that was in reference to self-governance that was going to happen. We had gotten rid of the colonizers, and now Zambia was being run by Zambians, and it was a new dawn full of possibilities. So that's where that comes from, kwacha ngwe, and that's what the currency means, and that's the currency that we use out there in Zambia. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Love it. Love the love that is going there in the chat. Thank you. I love it. That's what Storytime is about for sure. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And then the other question I asked was, who are Zambia's neighbors? Can you name them? Are you ready? Let's see how many you got. Zambia's neighbors. Who are they? Can you name them? Right. Here we go. Are you ready? All right. These are Zambia's neighbors. Who are Zambia's neighbors? Can you name them? So we have Malawi, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Namibia, Tanzania, Angola, Mozambique, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Oh, Congo DRC, right? DRC. There we go. So those are Zambia's neighbors. There are 8 of them. And there's a point there too, if you can see on the screen, kind of at the bottom where Botswana and Zimbabwe and Namibia meet and Zambia, it is called the Caprivi Strip. That's where, I think it's one of the few places, if not the only place in the world, where 4 countries meet, and that's one of them. I know here you have the 4 corners with the states, but in Zambia, right at that border, Caprivi Strip, there's Namibia, Zambia, Botswana all meet there, and 4 countries meet. There's actually a point where you can be in 4 different countries. Thank you so much for joining in. I just thought I should share that today, and of course, this week, we continue to share stories that highlight the spirit of Zambia. And today we were highlighting the spirit of togetherness, the spirit of family, and and how such a people, such a resilient people keep moving and keep thriving, keep on, just being amazing. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. And we hope to be back again tomorrow with another exciting book. And this time we'll be looking at one that is called Head to Head. And this one tells stories, 18 linked portraits of people who changed the world. And we'll be looking at particularly they resisted. There's a part in this book that talks about resisting. And Zambia was built on that. We needed to resist the oppressive colonial governments, and we did. And it took struggle. And Zambians did not stop once Zambia got independence. We did not stop there. Like we were supporting other freedom struggles that were happening in Zimbabwe, that were happening all around us, And so, really great lesson there too in coming together and making sure too that, like the words of Dr. King, if there's injustice somewhere, it's injustice for everywhere. What is that? Help me out. I know Pamela Courtney, you got my back. Thank you. you so much for joining in, everybody. This has been Story Time today. Always a pleasure to be here with you, and appreciate the time that you take to be here with us, and of course, join in Story Time. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. And yeah, today will be a longish day for me, but is always a great start. You always give me a boost to go into the world and face it head on. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Much love from me. We read a book today from Mona Damluji, who is a professor at Santa Barbara, UC Santa Barbara, and then of course INNOSANTO Nagara, activist extraordinaire, many books and doing wonderful work out here in the Bay and across the country as well. Thank you so much for joining us here on Story Time. Much love from me, and I will see you again tomorrow for more Story Time, and sending you away with just a Zambian love, Zambian smile, and everything that we're known for out there. Just a joyful people, and I hope that you get a slice of that. Thank you so much for being here with us. Much love from me. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing Story Time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, Story Time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, Story Time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing